Here we are again for another day of casting Alchemy League Season 6. Welcome everyone. Today we have two sets in store. So, first one is going to be Lion against Jasouki. Hello, Lilosa. Hello, Jasouki. Welcome. So yeah, it's going to be Lion against Jasouki. Jasouki, player from Spain. He is around 1100. He is also a map maker. I keep forgetting which map he made for the current season, but yeah, he made one of the maps. Let me check real quick on the Discord. I believe it should say... Okay, yeah, he made the Thaw, which I believe we're going to be seeing. Yes, we'll see the Thaw today. So Jasouki is going to be playing on his own creation. And his opponent is going to be Lion, a player from the United States. As you can see, he is quite higher than Jasouki, about 300 elo more. So we might actually see handicap in this set, but we won't know until we get into the games themselves. So let's take a look at civs. At maps. As I mentioned, we have the Thaw as our game 1 map, because this was played in round 5, also known as round 1 of Spring 2. And for our second map, we're going to have Lagoon Forest. Hello Tech, welcome to the stream. Also, for some reason, the chat is not staying. I'll fix it afterwards. So yeah, Lagoon Forest is going to be our second map. And as for civs, as usual, we have our 5 admin bans: Italians, Persians, Berbers, Britons, and Vietnamese. So all of admin bans were pretty strong civs. I would say with the maps we have, probably Berbers is... I mean, neither player is going to be too sad about them, but I mean, Italians, Persians, Britons, and Vietnamese, I could see them all working on these two maps, right? So these bans should give us quite the variety. Now, Lion, he banned Malay and Goths, got his Romance banned, sniped, and was left with Chinese, Magyars, and Saracens. Jasouki, on the other hand, he banned Georgians and Mongols, and was left with Cumans, Koreans, Hindustanis, and got his Spanish sniped. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I've already casted Jasouki on Lagoon Forest in another set, and he went Cumans there, so we might see them in action today as well. And as for Lion's picks, I know he likes the Chinese, so we'll see. We'll see where he plays them, or if he plays them at all. I could see them work on the Thaw, right? Because you have that Shorefish, and started with extra villagers, you can probably go faster to that. But we'll see. So, let me load up the games real quick. And then we can just jump into them. Okay, here we are. Alright, so Lion chooses to go for Saracens here. No Chinese, okay. And Jasouki, on the other hand, is going for Koreans on this one. And that's an interesting choice. I believe we've seen Saracens before on this map. They're quite flexible. It's quite easy to break into your opponent's base thanks to the Archer bonus. So yeah, overall, Saracens tend to be a solid pick on pretty much any map. Of course, there are going to be maps where they perform better and other maps where they're not going to be performing as well, but generally speaking, they're a solid pick everywhere. Koreans, on the other hand, I'm quite surprised. So this map tends to be quite militia heavy, or many times heavy, and Koreans they have nothing special for that. Although, once you open with that and you transition into archers, it's going to be way easier for Koreans because, of course, their archers are 50% cheaper on their wood cost. And they get the archer armor upgrades for free. So maybe your opening is not as strong as it might be with, I don't know, Japanese, Malay, cities like that. But your follow-up can be very, very strong. Not to mention that with the recent changes, they also have access to the Fire Lancers, which, yeah, they figure here. And Fire Lancers are currently the only infantry unit which costs no food. So if you're on low eco, it is quite easy to sustain the production. Koreans and they also get pretty good siege, right? They have probably the strongest rocket cards in the game at the moment, which of course now replace the Magnal line. So a Fire Lancer rocket card play in Castle Age could be possible for Koreans. So we'll see. Saracens, on the other hand, they can do pretty much everything they want up until late castle. They do not really have a heavy cavalry choice in Imperial Age, right? Because they do have knights compared to other civs, which focus on camels, like Hindustanis and Gurjaras and whatnot. They focus on camels, but they do not have knights. Saracens do have knights as an option in Castle Age. They do not get Cavalier. Still, they get decent knights in Castle Age. So that's still an option. Although you normally see Saracens go for archers, thanks to their bonus. Either archers or camels. So for the time being, both players just going to get their resources. Jasouki just going now to the fish. It's good to see that generation was fair to both players, right? Lion got a 3 fish spot, and same did Jasouki. Ooh, Lion about to lose the scout. Should be able to save it, but that's a lot of HP lost. And Jasouki's scout, yeah, he has full HP, so if he decides to take the fight, he would be able to win this quite easily. Okay, Jasouki up to castle. Not castle, sorry, up to feudal. Would be amazing if he was up to castle at 7 minutes into the game. But I see no barracks, and he doesn't really have the resources for that. He's going forward. Ooh, okay, so he is... Oh, he's on stone. So this could be a tower rush from Jasouki, which I like. I think this is a very good map where you could trash on, because the only woodlands close to your TC are these two, right? So let's say you tower one and then you go to the other. Yes, your opponent can go on the outside, but that leaves him more open and more exposed to any pressure. So I like tower rush on this. Maybe man-at-arms towers would be better, right? Having that infantry support would be nice. But still, he sent 5 villagers, so fighting this back is not going to be as easy for Lion. Also, Lion made a barracks, but no militia, so he's just going to go straight into... Ooh, into scouts, actually, because he's not on gold. That's a weird tower. Could have been a little bit more forward. He didn't... Okay, so he doesn't need to drop it on the woodline itself. But let's say he drops it here, right? His opponent does not see that. And with fletching, you're going to be able to deny the whole woodline. Oh, okay, so he's... Okay. So he's going to play it safe, and he's going to be thinking, okay, I'm Koreans. I mine stone very quickly. Let's just drop a preemptive tower to protect our second tower. Which is nice, but at the same time, I don't think you need it. If this was Byzantines, then yeah. Then yeah, you do that, because Byzantines are going to be able to see this straight away as soon as they get to feudal, because of the free town watch. I think they would be able to see that. But yeah, against Saracens, you don't really need it. I mean, I do not dislike the safe play, right? If you can be safe, be safe. But yeah. Lion, okay, he's going scouts. It should not be too hard for Jasouki to defend from them, right? You just need to wall your wood line, wall your stone, and you're fine. Villagers are quite close to the TC. Might lose this one to the scouts because he's watching that. Oh, actually, oh. No, he saves it and kills 2 scouts? Of course not. TCs hit nothing. Of course, it's 2025, of course. TCs do not hit stuff. We have a forward barracks. And keep in mind, behind this, Lion is off wood. He's taking the stragglers, but those are going to be running out quite quickly. And as Saracens, he could technically abuse the market to balance his eco. But this tower denies the gold as well. And Lion is not on gold. Ooh, he's going to take this wood. But, I mean, a single tower from Jasouki here denies the wood and cannot be rushed down by villagers because of the TC. So Jasouki needs... Ooh, he doesn't know about that. Ooh. Yeah, Jasouki needed to preemptively wall this. Yeah, this tower is going to go down now. It's 5 vills and 1 spear against 8 vills. And many of those vills are weak, so Jasouki should be able to fight this off, but yeah, he's going to lose the tower. It's... Okay, so it's not great, but it's not the end of the world, right? Because, okay, he gets 2 vills. He's now going to see this. There's going to be another tower. He does not know about that, but he could rush it. If he knew about that, yeah, you see... Yeah, for a split second he could see the villager building. He's going to build his own. He could easily rush it down. Wait, do we have loom for Jasouki? We do. Okay, that was fast. Oh, this is nice. I would have liked another tower just here, right? Right on the wood line. You wall it in, just to be sure that Lion is completely off that wood. We got archers. I mean, Jasouki does have an a barracks here, so yeah, archer range here. And he's going to be able to make skirmishers. His eco looks... Oh yeah, his eco is way better than his opponent's now. Because he's got farms, his opponent doesn't. So his opponent is relying on berries and fish, I suppose. For food, no fish. Ooh, he's taking this gold, okay. Okay, I like that tower, just to keep the archers off. It also secures the gold, which Jasouki is not taking right now, but he might want to in a moment, because he's close to having the food for Castle Age. So I believe we'll see him drop a mining camp here as soon as he gets to 100 wood. Goes for the skirms instead. Okay. Another archer range from Lion. Okay, so Lion is going to stay in Feudal Age and just try to fight his opponent and kill as many vills as possible. Okay, so overall, Lion has stabilized, all things considered, but still, eco-wise, I know the rest collected looks quite similar, but at the end of the day, it is farming eco against berries. And yeah, and that's it. So I still prefer Jasuki's position in the long run. He is safe, right? He's going to be able to click up to castle. He's got skirms to fight off the archers. They are cheaper as well. This gold is protected by a tower. And honestly, if Jasuki makes it to castle now and makes a couple of rocket cards, I think Lion is dead, right? Rocket cards and... Ooh, maybe this was a little bit too bold of a move. Yeah, you need to leave this place. Okay, so Jasouki might be hurting for the next couple of minutes, but he is fine. He could easily idle DTC, stop making skirms, just go up to castle. Go up to castle, couple of rocket cards, you take down the towers, you take down the units. It's fine. Also, rocket cards should be amazing against the towers because as a unit, they have slightly less base attack than a mangonel, but they ignore armor, so they end up being slightly better against buildings until your opponent gets masonry and even architecture. Okay, there it is. We got castle. We got very good numbers of skirmishers, and yeah, Jasouki here is fine. He's going to fall behind in vills, but that's fine. He's got rest to drop a second TC if he wants to. Could be here on the gold, could be here on the wood. This is a good position for Jasouki. I know the score is in favor of Lion, but I still prefer Jasuki's position here. I mean, Lion is just now making farms, so I think unless he heavily abuses the market by selling the stone, which I believe he doesn't want to because he still wants to build towers, I think Lion will click up to castle basically when Jasouki hits it. So that's going to give Jasouki a 2.5-minute window to kill his opponent, or rather to deal some serious damage. Now, something which is unfortunate for Koreans on this map is that you do not have much stone, right? So Jasouki had this one in the back. Ooh, is he going step lancers? Yes, not fire lancers, not step lancers, sorry. That would be very nice. We have arson. Okay. Oh yeah, we're going fire lancers. Okay. I like that. So Koreans unfortunately do not get. Oh no, they do get gambesons. Okay. Oh yeah, it's Vietnamese who do not get gambesons. And yeah, gambesons do affect the fire lancers. So Fire Lancers, I believe this is the first time we see them in the tournament, or rather, in a tournament cast. So they basically function kind of like a spear, as in they deal bonus damage to cavalry, as you can see here. So the bonus damage is not as high as the spearman line, but they do have beefier stats, right? So they do have 1 base armor, which the spearman line doesn't. They do have, I believe, 10 more XP than a pikeman in Castle Age. And as I mentioned at the start, they are the only infantry unit currently which does not cost food. And as Koreans, they also cost 50% less wood. So I believe they're around 20 wood. I don't remember the gold cost. I think it's either 50 or 60, something like that. They're quite costly gold-wise. And they also have a charge attack, which is ranged. Doesn't show the range here, but I believe it's about 5, maybe 6 for the elite version. So the charge attack deals... It shoots 3 projectiles. I believe each projectile does 3 unblockable damage. And it has about a 1 minute cooldown. And they are affected by canvassons, so they can actually get to +1 more pierce armor compared to the spearman line. Also, the charge attack will not go off if you're targeting siege or buildings. But yeah, as you could probably see there, it went off against the villagers. So they are quite better as a quote-unquote generous unit compared to the... Well, no, not really, not better as being a generous unit. So they're better when your opponent is going archers as a mid-shield, because they do not get bonus damage from archers the way that the spearman line does, and they do end up having more pierce armor. Their only problem is they take bonus damage from the militia line and from most infantry units, because as you can see they have the shock infantry armor, which is the same as eagles. And Jasouki is now not in a great position. Being Koreans, the moment he got to castle, these towers were upgraded to guard tower, which is pretty nice. And yeah, Jasouki calls the GG here. So the first game goes to Lion. And I like the Fire Lancers. I think they're very good when you're on a low eco situation. But he just needed a Siege Workshop, right? As soon as he got to castle. Siege Workshop, as soon as you get to castle, you make a couple of rocket guards, and you can take down the tower easily. You can also deny the Siege Workshop because... Let's look at statistics, but I believe Lion was quite late to castle. Yeah, he was about 2 minutes behind. Yeah, Jasouki, I can understand that. I mean, it's easy for me to say that, looking at this, but I can also understand that if your initial idea was to go Fire Lancers, you might not even think about anything else. So I can see that. I can understand that. But I believe up until when you got to castle, you were in a very good spot. Yeah, yeah, the chaos came back to you. It was a good choice from Lion to just say, oh, you're denying my woodlines, okay, I'm going to take yours. That's a bold move, and it paid out. But yeah, I think you made enough chaos in Feudal. Okay, so that was game 1. Let me load up game 2. Jasouki against Lion, game 2. Okay. And here it is. Okay. So it is Lagoon Forest. And as I predicted, Jasouki is going to be human. Whereas Lion is going to be Chinese. So it is probably going to be Lion's turn to play with the Fire Lancers. So I believe every single Civ which gets Fire Lancers has a specific Civ bonus for them, or rather a Civ bonus which applies to them. So in the case of the Koreans, we had the wood discount. When it comes to Chinese, they move faster, and I believe it's 10% in Castle Age and 20% or 15% in Imperial Age. Which is probably not the best of the bonuses you have. But I mean, it's still better than nothing, right? And especially now that Chinese, they do have heavy rocket cards. So they have the fully upgraded version of the unit which takes the place of the Mangonel line for them. And they do have siege engineers. Right. Oh no, they do not have siege engineers, okay. But their unique tech, it applies to the rocket cards as well. So all in all, Chinese, yes, they lost camels with the recent changes, but now they have basically a beefier version of the halberdier, and they ended up having better siege because they're heavy rocket cards. I believe they're better than siege mangonels, siege onagers. And before the changes, they had no access to the siege onager. They stopped at the onager. So all things considered, it wasn't the worst of the changes for the Chinese. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jasouki, when he played humans here, it was against Splash Werewolf, who went for a castle drop as Byzantines into unique unit. And maybe some monks, I forget. And Jasouki defended it quite well. He held the line. He had a very good eco, as you do with humans. Ooh, no! Saves the will but loses the board to the TDC, which is not ideal, especially when you're trying to go for a fast uptime with humans to drop your TC. He is not pushing the deer. Okay, he sees the deer, so he's probably going to go to that now. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, with humans, you want to do a, I don't know, 18, even 17 vills uptime for the second TC. I think he will have to go for 19 vills or even 20 now, because the food income is just not going to be there. Now, Lion, getting his second boar. He was pushing the deer. And I believe he's just he's probably going fast castle, right? I don't think he would have 4 bills on wood if this was a feudal play. So it's possible he's going to go for a fast castle into, I don't know, I guess some siege push with the Chinese. You do not get crazy monks, right? I mean, they have everything except maybe the most important tech, which is redemption. So yeah, Chinese monks are not the craziest out there. I mean, humans, on the other hand, that means redemption as well. And then in Imp, they have nothing except faith. Did they get Heresy? Ooh, they do get Heresy. Okay. Okay, so Jasouki just walling up. Human Palisades, they do have extra HP. As you can see here. 150 for the Chinese. 200 for the humans. So that's 33% more HP. And Jasouki, 22 Vils. Ooh. Okay, he's going to click up now, but 22 Vils, 27 idle TC time. That's going to be a late up time. Which, on the other hand, could maybe confuse his opponent, right? So Lion might be seeing the uptime and think, well, that's too late for a double TC boom. And that's very fast for a castle, for a fast castle, so... I don't know if FC would have been better here. I mean... Ooh, nice. Nice hits from the Bills. I mean, I can see why you might want to go FC behind this instead of the feudal boom. But I mean, let's face it, losing that board is going to make it harder for you to go FC anyway. So I don't know. I would still go for a kind of later uptime in feudal and still use your opponents. Maybe. Just maybe, you could think about doing the... Instead of going straight for a TC, right? You could do what some people like to do with the humans, which is a tower rush into a TC. So, yes, as a tower rush, it's still going to be later than what you might want. But at least you're keeping the pressure off your back, right? So, you do the towers to be able to drop a safe second TC. Maybe that's what I would have done here. Or maybe you still go fast feudal, but you go crazy with rams and infantry instead. Okay, so mill on the fish, which is nice. Okay, so Jasouki is cutting here, which will give him access to a pond with both fish and oysters. Lion, on the other side, I don't know if he does not know this about the map, or if he knew and he just didn't care. But if you go for the back woodlines, or rather the woodlines which are on the edge of the map, you're guaranteed, well, you should be guaranteed, not in this case, to get a pond with both gold and fish. Right, as you can see, the bigger ponds are sitting towards the edges of the map, and so they have both fish and gold. Okay, Jasouki 2TC booming. Lion, on the other hand, he is on stone. Okay, so this is going to be some kind of pressure. Probably a castle drop. So how much does Lion know? Okay, he doesn't know about this DC. The farms are just a capture each bug. So Jasouki... Ooh. Yeah, I was about to say, if the pressure comes here and the castle goes down here, it doesn't really deny this. So it's still fine for Jasouki, but it seems like the castle is going to go up here. And Lion, he is about to see the farms. Okay, now he sees the farms and he's going to think, okay, that's the CC, and he's going to drop it. Oof. That's rough. Okay, Jasouki sees that. He just deletes the farms. Or rather, the first farm. And drops a stable. Okay. So humans do not get stone walls, so stone walling behind this is not an option. And what's sad is, against any other civ, or rather, against most other civs, you might be thinking, okay, let's go for a siege workshop in Feudal Age. As humans, we do have access to that. And let's try to ram this down. The problem is there are Chukonus coming out from Lion. And Chukonus deal amazingly with the rams. Oh yeah, Lion does love the Chinese. We also had a small chat on Discord, and he told me how much he likes Chinese culture in general. So it's not just an in-game thing; it's in a real-life thing as well. Yeah, maybe House Wall would have been better, but it's so costly, right? Compared to Palisades. And it's not going to delay the pressure by that much. Okay, there's the petals coming out from Lion. So Jasouki is on stone. I don't know if he's getting that for a castle when he gets to Castle Age. But I would like to see him wall with houses or even military buildings. As humans, you get cheaper archer ranges and stables. Ooh, petals on the TC. Okay, that's cheeky. But yeah, I would like to see some walls with the military buildings and towers behind. Towers, you pretty much stop the Chukunu push, and your opponent will have to add siege behind. So your opponent will have to invest more resources into that. Here's the siege workshop. So we might see rocket cards from Lion behind this. And as I mentioned, rocket cards are insane. Okay, we do have Castle Age here from Jasouki. He is going to have this stone for a TC. Not for a TC, sorry. Yeah, for a castle. He is going to run these vills. And he is still ahead. So, if he can get to Castle Age and get a castle up, I don't know, here or here. Maybe here would be better to keep the gold safe. He will not be in a bad spot. Because Lion behind this, he is 1 TC. So he's not really all in, but he's not booming. Okay, that's the first rocket card. And Jasouki, he could probably drop a second TC now as he's going up. Because that one went down. So with humans, I believe you're not limited to building just 1 TC in Feudal. You should be allowed to build as many TCs as you want, as long as you do not go over 2 at the same time. I think. I've never actually tested that. Oh, Jasouki calls this easy. Okay. Okay, so Lion takes the second game and wins the set 2-0. Maybe, just maybe, this could be seen as an early GG by Jasouki, but yeah, his position is not the greatest. Again, with a castle and maybe a siege workshop here, which he could build now, while he is still in feudal. He's not going to be able to make mangonels. He is limited to ramps, but you just build the siege workshop, and then you get your mangonels out as soon as you get to castle. So mangonels and a castle, and you can defend from this. The issue is that by the time you get to castle, your opponent is going to be ahead in vills. And if your TC numbers and your vill numbers are equal, then the Chinese eco is just better, right? Because you've basically lost your advantage as humans, eco-wise. The Chinese are going to retain that extra food on the farms. They're going to still have the cheaper upgrades. So yeah, maybe slightly early GG, but yeah, this was going to be an uphill battle for Jasouki. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, killing the board with the TC at the start doesn't feel good, right? Maybe, just maybe, if this was game 1, it feels different, but it's game 2. You've already lost the first one, and you lose the board at the start as humans when you want to go fast feudal boom. Yeah, that's going to kill your mentality. So yeah. That's very understandable. Okay, let's look at statistics. Yeah, resources collected. I mean, Jasouki ended up having more vills, I believe. Yeah, but they got idled by a lot by his opponent. Still, resources collected was quite close. Feudal time. Yeah, I think it was about 2 minutes later than what you might want ideally with humans. But yeah, without a board, it's going to be hard. Yeah, that too. I mean, very tight build order against a higher rated player. I mean, just being against a higher rated player is going to screw with your mentality, right? So that's more than understandable. Alrighty. Let's go back to the drafting table and take a look at the next set, which is going to be YoSoyPacho against the Otter one. So I believe neither of these players needs an introduction, but we'll do it anyway. So Otter one has been with us since season 1, player from Germany, currently sitting at 1500, but he has a highest time, a highest elo of 1700. And this is 1v1 random map elo. But he is a very, very good deathmatch player, and deathmatch does not show here for some reasons. Let me see, maybe on stats it shows. Matches, KTM 1v1, does it show the elo? Well, it shows here, but that doesn't tell me anything. Oh, also this is from back when we had deathmatch ladder in the game, which was taken out in favor of Empire Wars. Oh, he has actually been playing a lot of Empire Wars now that I think about it recently, which I guess, coming from a deathmatch environment, better suits him compared to standard play. I don't know. Anyway, his opponent is going to be YoSoyPacho, also known as Justinian 1422-3 in game. He's not been with us as long as the Otter, but I think he's played, what, 3, maybe 4 seasons up to now with us. So he's kind of a veteran himself. Player from Colombia, and he is around 1600 with the highest of 1750. So if we just look at the highest, Elo, kind of balanced game. Currently though, YoSoyPacho sitting a little bit above Otter. But both of these, so these two players have played against each other a lot in the league currently. I think this might be their fourth set against each other. So this should be a good one. Because I believe maybe only one of their previous sets ended up in a 2-0 in favor of Otter, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is going to be a good one. So, the map for game 1 is going to be Shattered Plains, as we can see from the draft, which tells us that this was played in round 6, or round 2 of Spring 2, if you will. And as our second map, we're going to have Confluence. Looking at civs, the randomizer banned Berbers, Vikings, Tatars, Malay, and Celts. YoSoyPacho went on to ban Dravidians and Bengalis, got the Lithuanians sniped, was left with Byzantines, Spanish, and Japanese. Otter banned Koreans and Georgians, got his Mongols sniped, and was left with Saracens, Italians, and Malians. Oh, I guess you cannot see Malians that clearly because of the chat on screen. Sorry. Overall, I think with the maps we have available, or rather with the maps we're going to be playing, I kind of prefer YoSoyPacho's draft. Because I can see Spanish on Shattered Plains being very good because of how open it is, and the potential to just go fast castle conquistadors. And both Byzantines and Japanese are going to be amazing on Confluence, right? Japanese, overall, one of the best, if not the best, hybrid civ at the moment. Byzantines, I mean, Confluence is mostly a fire ship map, so Byzantines will just excel at that. Otter, I think we're going to be seeing Malians, or maybe even yeah, it's probably going to be Malians on Confluence, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Italians on Shattered Plains. So Italians do not have the mobility of Spanish, but Genoese crossbowmen should be quite good against the Spanish. So we'll see. Let me load the games real quick. Wait. Oh, wrong game. Sorry. So they got the game 1 and game 2 tags mixed up when they sent the Rex. Open with Capturage. No? Okay, Capturage crashed. Just 1 second, sorry. Okay. Okay, here we are. So, as I expected, we have Spanish from YoSoyPacho playing here in pink, and we have Saracens from Otter playing in the yellow. So Otter not going for the Italians as I might have thought, but going for Saracens instead. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen Mamelukes against conquistadors. I think in low numbers, Conquistadors should win. But once you get to the big mess, I think Mamelukes should be... I mean, there really aren't units which can counter the Mamelukes. The only ones I can think of are Gurjara Camels, maybe Arbalester, good siege, but even then it's quite easy for the Mamelukes to snipe the siege, so yeah, it's quite hard to counter a big ball of Mamelukes. And Spanish do not have camels, do not even have crossbow. One of the two saves without crossbow. So yeah. If the Saracens can get to that big ball of Mamelukes, it's going to be hard for the Spanish to deal with. They do have Onager without siege engineers. Oof. So even the composition of Halb, Onager, or Hard Bombard Cannon is going to be not the best for the Spanish. So I think YoSoyPacho will try to get map control as fast as possible with Conquistadors and take it from there. Okay, so both players just taking the hunt for the time being. Nothing too crazy. Both of them got the sheep they had outside of the walls. So on this map you do have 2 sheep sitting outside of the walls. So there could be potentially some lanes. I believe I still haven't seen a single one of them. Mostly because you do not really know where your opponent's base is, right? So for YoSoyPacho should be... I mean, he could think his opponent is either here, or here, or here. Right, so... You do not want to just send your scout forward at the start in the hope of, laming maybe 2 sheep. Unless you're Vietnamese, I guess, but even then, you're not laming that much, so... So, YoSoyPacho just going for a mill outside, okay. Otter seems to be ignoring the fish for the time being, going for the berries instead. And yeah, I mean, overall, basic arena start, so there isn't much to say. Ooh, so YoSoyPacho, okay, he still hasn't found his opponent, same for Otter. Otter might spot the mill, right? Oh. Okay, he sees his opponent's base. Ooh. YoSoyPacho is being very greedy with the fish approach. I mean... So, shorefish is nice, overall, because of how fast it is. The only problem is, yeah, Otter sees this. Yep. He sees that, so if he decides to go for scouts for map control, he might go straight for this, right? So, do they have loom? They do, okay. Okay, so maybe even with feudal scouts, he should not be able to take this, unless he goes for, I don't know, 4 scouts, but by the time he gets to that numbers, I think YoSoyPacho might have finished the fish and just moved them back to the TC. Although, what I would like to see from him is keep them on the fish, and once you get to castle, you drop a TC here on the gold and on the wood. Otherwise, you would be wasting the time to go back to the base. The walking time would be too much. Okay, Otter slightly faster to feudal. With the barracks, we might see... Yeah, it's going to be stable plus market, I believe. Blacksmith? Okay. Blacksmith archer range. Alright. And we have Market and Blacksmith from YoSoyPacho. He is not on stone yet, so maybe this might not be a conk play. Okay, he's now going to stone. Okay. So overall, going for the shorefish saved him some wood from having to do farms. So generally speaking, for a fast castle, you do 4 to 5 farms around your TC, which is 240 to 300 wood. He made an extra mill, which is 100 wood, so that's about 140/200 wood saved, which is not too bad. But now these villagers will be... Yeah, I mean, just the walk by time is probably going to be equalizing that, I guess. Also, Otter made it in archer range, and he's making archers. He probably expects his opponent to come forward and drop a castle on his face, and that's why he's going archers, to be able to better deny that. You could technically be able to deny the castle with scouts as well, but if your opponent... Ooh, Otter will lose this. If your opponent is smart, is not just going to send the vills forward, he's going to make a barracks on his way up and send the vills with a couple of spears. And if he does that, then suddenly scouts are not enough to deny the castle, especially against the Spanish. But it seems like YoSoyPacho will have the castle at home. Let's see where he places it. Second TC from Otter. Okay. So it goes up there. So one thing I would have liked to see. So I was about to say one thing I would have liked to see is YoSoyPacho delete these 4 wall pieces and drop a castle there, right in the corner, which is something you used to see a lot in old days of Arena, especially when Spanish were just top tier on Arena because of the conk play. And Mongols were actually played a lot more on Arena back then because of the Mango die. And it used to be that for map control and to fight relics, you had unique units instead of scouts. But now people just go scouts instead because it's, I mean, it's cheaper, right? Otter, okay, doesn't find the kill here, but he's going to be annoying. And YoSoyPacho, I wonder if he opened the back or if it was open to begin with. Otter dropping under TC on the gold, which is nice. Although conks in this area could deny both golds, right? Because they can stay outside the TC range and kill the vills. Same here. Otter actually has no gold in the back. We do have gold in the back for YoSoyPacho. Actually, both golds are in the back, which is nice. But Otter should be... Okay, now he makes the monastery just to be able to convert some gongs. And he should be able to fly ahead eco-wise, right? He's 3 TCs against 2. And his opponent is making food units as well, so... but YoSoyPacho should be able to get map control. I mean, he's basically already won it. And that should give him the relics. So quick reminder that Alchemy League is played on standard victory. So he might be able to trigger the win countdown by getting all of the relics. Kongs might be able... Okay, no, Otter sees that. Okay, so KD in favor of YoSoyPacho for the time being. Yeah, as I mentioned, Kongs here can just deny gold. There are monks from Otter. Oh, he sent them out to get the relics. He's going to convert this one, which was weak. So yeah, YoSoyPacho notices that and can just take it down. And now the monk has no juice, so he can go snipe it with the... Ooh, just with the Conquistador. Doesn't even need the scout. Okay, now Otter has crossbows. So he actually has a unit to fight off the Kongs. Crossbows without ballistics and without armor upgrades though. We do have the first armor upgrade from the Spanish player. I wouldn't mind seeing this second one as well. So Spanish blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, so it should be easier for YoSoyPacho to get those. Also for every attack the Spanish research they get 20 gold, which is nice. Ooh, quick conversion from Otter. That's nice. But the reason I'm gonna from YoSoyPacho, and I believe Otter, yeah, he now sees that. He needs to be careful. He's got quite a bit of space here to dance with the crossbows. Monk goes down. YoSoyPacho behind this. 2 TCs. I like that. Do not add a third one. Otherwise you're going to be delaying your imp by too much. Also, yes, he's on 3 TCs, but this one is exposed. So farming around this is not ideal. He should have farmed here, maybe add a mill here. So yeah, I mean, oh, he's not even hiding bills for the time being. Good micro from Otter in dodging those shots. But there's now 2 mangonels. We do not have redemption from Otter. No, not yet. Ooh, nice shot. Can he take the second one? Ooh, he can. Very good. He doesn't know about this mangonel, nor the monk. But he, as you can see, Otter scouted most of the map. And he'll see the relics disappear, right? And YoSoyPacho got 3. Might be able to get the 4th and the 5th. That's a bold castle from Otter. Okay, he deletes it because of the mangonel. He's going for that, probably to secure the stone and that relic, I guess. He now got redemption, so he should be able to convert the mangonels now. He also got sanctity earlier, so he will not get one-shotted by the mangonel. Nice dodges from Otter. Yeah, that castle will go up. Yes, there's nothing from YoSoyPacho. And if Otter noticed the relic disappearing, he should have gone that way. I mean, yes, YoSoyPacho only 2 TCs, but that's how it should be. If he adds a 3rd TC here, then he suddenly doesn't have enough resources to produce from the TCs, make Kongs, and work his way up to Imperial. Dropping a 3rd TC from YoSoyPacho here would be a mistake, I believe. Because now he has map control, so his thought here should be, okay, let's keep control of the map and go up to him behind that. And, I mean, just by selling some food and wood, he would be able to click up now and keep up the Kong's production. By the time he gets to Imp, he'll have enough stone to drop a castle here. Maybe not here because of the cracked terrain, maybe you drop it here. Or here. And suddenly you have a forward position to attack your opponent. Otter is the first one clicking to Imp. I believe he abused the market. Yeah, he did use the market a bit. Not a crazy amount though. And if he can get this conversion... Wow, that's... I mean, without even devotion in, that's very unfortunate from Otter. Okay, and now that he clicked, he drops the 3rd TC. Okay, this is fine. So you prioritize Imperial, and then you start expanding your eco even more. I mean, he dropped the 3rd TC by the time he had, I believe, 90 vills. So that's nice. Oh, he also got over all of the relics. What's the MTC for Otter? Okay, it's this one. Okay, so Otter gets to Imp. He's going to get Bracer, Ballistics. He probably went to the university to click Chemistry and realized, oh, I don't even have ballistics. And if YoSoyPacho was not up to imp yet, then that would give Otter a good window to just go Arbalaster. Oof. Arbalaster, and with Arbalaster you can just, you know, shoot down the mangonels and the conks. But YoSoyPacho stopped making conks. He's not getting any upgrades, so I wonder what he's going to be going for. Oh, skirmisher. Okay. So it's going to be skirm opening from YoSoyPacho. Yeah, there it is. So he knows his opponent is on Arbalaster. He knows Otter is not going to be switching into anything else anytime soon, because he was idling his opponent's eco for a while, so he knows Otter will not have the resources to go for a switch straight away. So he's thinking, let's open skirm to take care of the Arbalasters. We set up our eco, we get to 140 bills, and then we switch to something else, which I believe is going to be HAL Bomber Cannon for the Spanish. But overall, he just needs to hold the position because of the relics. But Otter, he's Saracens, so he's going to get in quite easily. He could take down the monastery with the Arbalasters. Ooh, there's a bowl of skirms though. Skirms, yeah, fully upgraded. Otter missing the armors. Oh yeah, Otter needs to run. Yeah, missing the armors. He's missing chemistry. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of dead Arbalasters. Yikes. And in the meantime, counts are being annoying here, killing a lot of vills. We'll eventually go down to the Arbalasters. And Otter, okay, he's getting bloodlines, so... Oh, I thought for a moment it would be for Mamelukes, but no, he's going light cav behind this. So it's going to be a light cav Arbalaster play from Otter. Well, light cav and eventually Hussar, but he's got no gold, right? He's got this left. Okay, he's going for that one. And if it wasn't for the relics, I would say Otter is still fine, but he is on a clock, right? So this is going to be hard for Otter. Yeah, second castle for YoSoyPacho. He has a good amount of gold in the bank. Yeah, and Otter calls the GG. Yeah, I mean, this castle got denied, so Otter knows that his aggression is going to be very delayed, and against 92 years left in the countdown, yeah, he has no way to win the game currently. If it wasn't for this, then he definitely can stay in the game, right? And I believe if it wasn't for this, then this castle does not go up here, it goes up here, or maybe here, in a more defensive position. And from there, if Otter can actually tech into Mamelukes, I believe the Spanish have nothing they can do. But yeah, he needed a forward castle to have traps to take down the monastery, so yeah. Oh, nice. I missed having bots in the chat. Let me ban it real quick. And then we can take a look at the statistics. There we go. All right. Ah, yeah. First game goes to YoSoyPacho. Yeah, more resources collected. Yeah, as you can see, Otter being the Saracens, market-wise, he used it a lot more. Oh, actually, YoSoyPacho used the market quite a bit, but as you can see, Otter made more gold than what he spent, whereas YoSoyPacho spent more gold than what he made with the market. And he actually bought more resources than he sold. So that's something just nice to see about the Saracens bonus. Yeah, uptimes were just better for Otter. But his eco did not end up being on par. So yes, he had more TCs, so theoretically he could have produced more vills. But YoSoyPacho just had more military and kept those TCs idle. So Otter's eco was not working the way it was supposed to. So well played to YoSoyPacho. Very well played. Thank you for the follow. Although I believe the follower we just got was another bot. Oh no, it was LG. Sorry. Thank you for the follow, LG. Okay, let's go. Sorry, LG. Sorry. I got confused. Sorry, I got confused. All right, let's go to game 2. And we have Japanese against Malians. Okay, I was expecting Byzantines here, not Japanese. But yeah, Japanese work as well, right? And we have a generation with actually quite a bit of fish here in between two players. There have been generations where you look at the section of the river between the two players and you have just one deep fish. So sometimes you go for the dock and you feel like you just wasted wood and you're just fighting over just map control and not resources. But yeah, this generation will give him both map control and resources. There isn't much fish here in the back. Okay. And also going for the Malians. Yep. And overall, I think I do prefer the Japanese here to the Malians. So, ooh, YoSoyPacho getting the sheep. Okay, Otter one notices that. So overall, the Japanese should have the advantage on water, but Otter with Malians has the potential to be more annoying with military. And crossing here should be quite easy. Is that Otter's sheep? I think it is. I think it is, yeah. Yeah, so YoSoyPacho manages to steal at least one sheep from Otter. Actually, it could have been more than that. Because we have 5 here for Otter. Okay, 6. Okay, yeah. He just got one. Oh, and Otter gets it back. Nice. Nice. Ooh, okay, he's going for the house and then the dock. He is lucky YoSoyPacho does not see that, otherwise he would be annoying with the scout and could easily maybe not snipe the bill because it's quite close to the TC range, but could delay the dock timing. Ooh. Okay, Otter coming back with the scout. Should now be able to get the dock up. Do not take the fight under the hill. Ooh. Nice hit from YoSoyPacho. But now he is the one getting hit from uphill. And I believe Otter, yeah. He pushes that back. There's... No, do not send the Vil. There's no point. Okay, I like how Otter sent 2 Vils. Maybe keep them on the same fish, so this scout cannot... I mean, the scout is weak, so that's fine. He's actually sending more, okay. Ooh. YoSoyPacho sent a weak one. Otter might be greedy. Ooh, he gets the kill. Nice. That's good value for Otter. Both players with a single fishing ship sharing the fish. Otter still with a sheep over there. Doesn't need it at the moment, so that's fine. Getting loom, and I believe... he might not be able to click up. So if this was a map with standard resources, then yeah, by this time you should be able to click up. But compared to other maps, you do have deer, but they're quite far away, and it's a chore to push them in between these woodlines. So I believe neither player got deer underneath the TC. Yeah, I mean, YoSoyPacho has 2 close to the edge of the map, and 2 back here. So he might not even be seeing those. Okay, second dock from Otter. He is up faster. YoSoyPacho just now clicks after loom is done. Researching. Okay, Otter going for the gold now, and overall he should be able to win the water fight. YoSoyPacho dropping now the second dock. Maybe not win, but he'll have the advantage. He'll have 2 fires out before his opponent. Now the thing is, Japanese, because of how tanky the fishing ships are, honestly, in a fire galley war, you can just use them as shields, right? So I would like to see YoSoyPacho do that. Otter walling, but this did not complete. Well, even if it did, there's still a hole. Will not have the gold to make 2 fire ships straight away, so he might need to drop this off. He's going for a 3rd dock, but that's not... Ooh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he deletes that because he knows he's going to delay the fire spike too much. He only killed 1 single fire. Okay, now drops the 2nd. And YoSoyPacho... Oh, already making 3, okay. So YoSoyPacho is going to add the advantage. Numbers-wise. He's not close, but neither player is going for a... Oh, no, actually Otter has the barracks up already. So he could go for a hybrid build, but he doesn't have the wood, especially after he opted for a 3rd dock. Yeah, YoSoyPacho got even 2 Vils to repair this. Otter getting some free hits from the fire. Yeah, and Otter's fishing ships will go down faster than YoSoyPacho's, who is now fishing here, so he is in a pretty safe spot. Especially with the 2 fires sitting here. Ooh, 1 fire for Otter goes down. And we've seen in other sets how snowbally winning the water can be on this map. Otter could maybe make a demo, but I don't think it's justifiable with this amount of fires, especially when they're this far apart from each other. This one should go down, despite the Vills repairing that. But yeah. Yeah. Now the issue is Otter does have a good amount of fires. He has them in a single group, so he is going to be able to take better fights overall. But he lost all of the fish. Whereas YoSoyPacho is just fishing away here. So Otter will now have to switch to land eco for his food, but he's not making a mill. Demo doesn't make that much damage. This one could be huge. Could have been worse for Otter. But yeah, I do prefer YoSoyPacho's position here. Okay, we got a demo from Otter. Okay, in this dock. Yeah, YoSoyPacho just separating the fires. That makes sense. Is that the player going for land military? No. No, so no. So they're just going to focus on the water. Ooh, okay. This demo could be nice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. On the ooh. That's a shame. Killing the Veil would have been great. Right, I mean, YoSoyPacho has the TC over here, so he could just easily send another one to repair. Behind this, Otter already went to the berries. He realized, okay, I have to get an actual eco going here. But yeah, YoSoyPacho already on 8 farms. No horse collar for neither player, but that's fine. So automated the spear, I guess because they do have bonus against the ships, but yeah, it's not going to be making that much of a difference. I mean, ship numbers are still quite similar, right? Otter should be able to take back control with demos, but YoSoyPacho is about to click Castle Age. And Castle Age should be the winning condition here, right? So Otter is far away from that. And again, I think it comes down to the fact that these ships from YoSoyPacho have been working the whole time. Whereas Otter lost his fishing ships quite early on, so... Yeah, YoSoyPacho was missing the second building. Well, actually both buildings. He's going to drop a blacksmith, I guess? Yeah, there it is. And, I mean, this is good for Otter. The fact that his opponent is delaying Castle Age this much. Otter is actually 1 water, so very well played from him. He's going to take down the fishing ships. And he's going to be up not that far behind his opponent, so if... Okay, he's ahead in numbers, right? He's going to be facing demos. If he can keep his numbers advantage, good, using making him waste the demo on the weak one. If he can keep the numbers advantage all the way up to castle while he gets the upgrades, he can win this. Oh, he was missing the second building as well. Oof. I mean, luckily for him, YoSoyPacho is not making fires. He's still making demos. And they're both up to castle, yeah. So Otter has 6 fire galleys on the water. His opponent has 6 total between the 2 being produced and between the 3. So he had 2 already on the water and 4 in queue. But yeah, war galley coming in. Otter, he needs to run and keep his numbers. And maybe, yeah, just add a couple of demos. And see if you can stay alive for the next minute or so. I mean, it's going to be 1 minute and 40 seconds, right? Because you need to get to castle and then get the upgrade yourself. It's also 4 docks from YoSoyPacho and 3 from Otter, so... yeah, this is going to be a big issue for Otter. Okay, luckily Otter went for the upgrade on this one instead of this, because this is going to go down. So these fires are... yeah, some of them are damaged, so... it is not going to be easy. Okay, upgrade comes in. Okay, if Otter micros this correctly, he should be able to win. Nice. Nice, Will repairing. Can Otter do this? Ooh, those demos are nice from YoSoyPacho. Ooh, that's a big demo. That's a big demo, and YoSoyPacho on 2 TCs now. So they're still contesting water. But yeah, behind this, YoSoyPacho is ahead in bills and overall economy. 3k resources ahead. Ooh, big demo on the Vil. I have to say, it feels like overall, Otter's micro with the fires has been better. But YoSoyPacho has had the better... I was about to say he has had the better demos, but he just basically wasted 2 there, so... Hey Otter, welcome. You missed the first set and the first game of yours. And we've been looking at this section of the river for the past 30 in-game minutes, because that's what Conflu is, basically. Okay, demo for demo. Yes, use the weak one on the demo. Do not go there. Ooh. Luckily the Bills did not get shot. Ooh. Those are some big demos from YoSoyPacho. Holy. Okay, Otter going heavily on stone, so he might be thinking, let's drop a castle here. And let's get this over with. And yeah, he has given up on navy production. So I guess his win condition now is to make it faster than his opponents to Imperial, somehow get back control of the water. I mean, a castle here with a couple of docks underneath it should be enough to do that. The issue is, eco-wise, Otter is quite far behind, and now that YoSoyPacho doesn't have to invest as much on water, he'll probably make some more TCs, right? I like how he's getting guild nets for no fishing ships. Ooh, he's going to expand to the outside, and he's going to get relics as well. And, I mean, aside from this one, I guess he's going to have easy access to all of them. I mean, Otter doesn't really have anything to prevent his opponent from taking that relic. Oh yeah, Otter, he was on 4 docks before you. I think he was on 4 docks even before getting to Castle Age. But as I was saying earlier, one thing that really helped him is that the fact that the moment you finished the fish you were sharing, which was around here if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, okay. We were about to see another castle being destroyed by the fires. So the moment you've finished the fish here, he moved his fishing ships down here. So he had 4 Japanese fishing ships working while you had 0. And that just helped him so much to get to castle much faster. And yeah, YoSoyPacho now up to Imp. Yeah, I mentioned that as well at the start. I mean, some generations you have no fish in between players, and some others you have quite a lot, because I think there was 2 here, 1 here, 1 and 2 here, and then another one here. But then you had basically no fish up here. So it's weird. And I think when I played this as well, I went for... So instead of docking here, I figured let's go for a dock here, so we can go into galleys. You know how much I love galleys. And I docked there and was like, oh, there's no fish out here. So yeah, that was not ideal. Otter will click Imp. Yeah, I think he clicks Imp now, and your opponent is going to get it now, so This castle will go down. We have galleon coming in even from YoSoyPacho. And yeah. Oh, he even got all of the relics. So yeah, this is not going to be ideal. By the way, I don't think the barracks were that much of an issue. I think it was barracks and double dock. If you went something like, I don't know, barracks, single dock, and archers, then maybe it's fine, because you're going to struggle at the start on water, but because you have the archers and you're, you know, being annoying in your opponent's base, they will have no resources to make more fires, and so eventually you win the water. Or you could even think about going for a... I mean, that's still one of... I mean, I was about to say you could think of the Man-at-Arm hybrid build, but that's probably one of the tightest build orders in the game, so it's quite hard to pull off. Where you go dock, Man-at-Arms, and fires. Yeah, and Otter just calls the GG. He knows he's too far behind this. And so, YoSoyPacho takes this set 2-0. Yeah, the Beto's getting killed by the demo. Let's take a look at the statistics. Yeah, Japanese ahead. Well, they had fishing ships working longer. And he dropped the second TC faster than Otter, so that's kind of expected. Uptimes. Also, uptimes are very hard to pull off here because of the... not the lack of deers, but the lack of easily pushable deers. Oh yeah, I'll agree, he's become a lot stronger. I thought the same when I played him. In in round 5, I think it was, yeah, round 5. Oh yeah, I think Kongs are just too much to deal with, especially on such an open map like that one. If it was standard arena, then maybe you can still deal them with the monks. But yeah, on that one, but they can just run basically all over the map. It's going to be harder. Anyway, that's all we have for today for the Alchemy League. So I'm going to end here the recording for those who are going to be watching on YouTube. If you watch this on YouTube, thank you.